Welcome to the Talk Like a Leader podcast, where we explore the mindset, skill set, and habit set of leadership communication. Using these tips, techniques, and tactics, you'll be able to talk like a leader to build better relationships and get more done. Your host is Guy Harris, who has more than 20 years of combined professional and military experience in consulting, coaching, and training in areas like team and interaction dynamics, communication strategies and tactics, as well as emotional intelligence. Take it away, Guy.
Hi, this is Guy Harris. Welcome to Talk Like a Leader. This week's episode is titled, Why I Work Hard to Not Get Angry. And I guess I'll start by talking about how this has any relevance to communication. And it's the idea that when I'm angry, my communication isn't effective. So if I want to be a clear and effective communicator, I need to the best of my ability, try to communicate in a not angry frame of mind. Well, that's just kind of the big overview. Let's get a little more detailed. Now, there's a topic that I talk about quite a bit. It's the control influence circle. It's borrowed from Stephen Covey and adapted really from his work. And it's the idea that I can control myself, I can influence others or situations around me. And then outside that, there are things I can neither control nor influence. And often in workshops, people ask questions related to how we respond to situations that are outside our control or influence. And part of the conversation almost always becomes a discussion about whether I should spend a lot of time worrying about it or not. And my general perspective is that if I can neither control nor influence the issue, I don't really want to spend a lot of time worrying about it. I do want to figure out quickly how I'm going to respond. I do want to come up with a plan of action to move forward. I do want to make some assessment of how this thing that's outside my control or influence affects me so I can know what to do next. I do want to do that. I don't want to be a complete victim to the world and just blow in the wind. I just don't want to get angry. And what I've noticed is this is just for me. I don't know that it's true for everyone else. It seems in some casual conversations I've had that it does affect other people this way also. When I get too concerned or too focused on issues that I can neither control nor influence, things outside my control, outside my influence, the focus on those issues tends to irritate me because I have no control or influence. I'm a human, and even though I kid around a lot about being a recovering engineer, and a joke I have with my daughter is, you hurt my feeling as opposed to feelings. These are really just jokes and sort of pushing something that's partially true about me to an extreme. And the extreme would be that I have no emotion. The truth is I do, and I do get angry. I don't want to respond out of anger. And here's my reasoning. I cannot at this point in my life think of anything I've ever done when I was angry that after I was angry, I was proud of my response. I'm not necessarily saying that I'm ashamed or regret every angry decision I've made. That would be too strong also. It is true that I'm rarely proud of my response when I was angry. I might be okay with it. I might be able to live with it. And when I'm calm, I can usually think of a better way I could have handled it if I hadn't addressed the situation out of my anger. So it's just a reflection on my life. I share that to hopefully help you. And your experience may or may not be like mine. I have found that when I'm angry, I don't respond very well, and I don't necessarily make decisions that I like to live with long term. And since I want to avoid the feeling after I'm angry of not being really happy with my response, I work really hard to not get angry. What I find is that if I can stay focused on the things I can control and stay focused on the things I can influence and do everything I can to make a positive difference in the realm that I can control or influence, then I tend to be more at peace. I tend to make better decisions. I tend to feel more empowered. I tend to have a better impact on the people around me. Things just generally go better. I don't want this to sound like I'm saying that anger is by definition a negative emotion, because I don't actually believe that's true. Sometimes being angry has driven me to think of new solutions to things. Sometimes being angry has caused me to want to do something about the situation. So I'm not saying that the feeling of anger is by definition negative. I'm saying that making a decision during the state of anger is probably not ideal. So what I try to do in leadership engagements, trying to figure out how to coach a team member, how to address a conflict, how to delegate a task, how to resolve a problem, any of the myriad communication things we do in a leadership role, I work really hard to distance myself from the moment I felt angry before I make the decision. I try to discipline myself to remember that angry decisions are rarely the best decisions. So I'll offer that thought for you. As you go forward in your leadership journey and you think about how to coach people on performance, how to address things that are frustrating to you, how to resolve problems, how to resolve conflicts, how to implement things for the future, how to address the things that do cause anger for you. Remember that you can only control yourself. Hopefully you have influence with the people around you. And then there's a big wide world of stuff that you can neither control nor influence. The more you focus on the things you can do in your realm of control, or the people that you can influence and recognize even them you cannot control, you can only influence with their permission. If you focus on those things, you can find positive ways forward to avoid being angry when you make a decision. And that's my journey, is to work really hard at not making decisions or speaking in anger, but to give myself space to reflect, think about it, calm down a bit, and try to make a more informed and calmer decision that I'm happy with and hopefully has a positive influence on the people around me. The reason I work hard to not get angry is because I want to make a positive difference in the world, and I don't want to leave behind a wake of damaged relationships. So I think if you can work to not get angry, you can talk like a leader. This has been the Talk Like a Leader podcast. You can listen to this show every week wherever you get your podcast. If you haven't, be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. I'm Guy Harris, and thanks for listening.